Poverty. It changed the human spirit. How did they break free? Government can't solve these problems, but people can. Escape from Poverty wants to help. Guiding people like Amy, who makes pralines.
I have a dream of not only having a candy store in Lafayette, but in the surrounding areas and eventually go international.
Families like Carol and Kelly.
I think I would like to someday become a chorus teacher.
One of my dreams is to become a teacher, a basketball coach, and a football coach.
Recovering addicts like Greg.
It's just amazing about life. You know, life, you never know what the day gonna bring. You never know what the day gonna bring. And you know, that's some of my goals. Some of my goals, long-term goals, is to help others, be of service to others, and to own my own business.
Single moms like Tyra.
I would like to eventually own my own business. In what? I don't know. I know I'll be helping people in some sort of way, but I want to eventually work for myself.
Anybody can help somebody out of poverty.
You can too.
The people in these classes are also starring in a reality TV show. Join us as we follow their journey from poverty to success.
Our dream is to make their dreams come true.
Escape from poverty.
Escape from poverty.
Escape from poverty.
Escape from poverty is transforming my life.
Transforming my life.
Transforming my life.
It's transforming my life.
This class is available in its entirety along with printed curriculum through our website. Contact us at escapefrompoverty.org or at 337-984-4858. Teacher tonight. Our real teacher is Karen Bryce. Karen Bryce is a former biology teacher, former personal trainer, and she knows a lot of stuff. So enjoy the show. Carol, take it away.
Thank you, Linda. Okay, so it's been a while since we've been together, and I remember distinctly that you guys had homework from last time. Do you remember that? Does anybody remember your homework assignment?
Wow.
No? Nobody remembers what you were supposed to do?
Oh,
all right, let me refresh your memory. That's right. Did you do that?
No.
No. No one did?
Sorry.
Remember you were supposed to try, did the dog eat your homework? Because I know you have dogs, so it might work. I actually had a dog eat my homework one time, for real. But that's a story for another time. Anyway, so what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to try a new fruit that you never tried before, or if you couldn't find something you'd never tried, something that you don't eat regularly, or a vegetable. Did anyone just randomly, because you all forgot your homework, and by the way, you're all going to get an F, happen to try anything new, fruit or vegetable?
Some blueberries.
Blueberries? You'd never had blueberries before? Really? What'd you think?
Bleh.
No? How'd you eat them?
Raw,
Just plain? Just plain? You didn't mix them in anything? Did you try them?
Yep.
Had you had them?
Well, through that shake, yeah. Never had it. Never had it blended with other fruits, so that was.
Are you talking about this too?
No.
No, you had it separately.
He actually fed the dogs the blueberries, so they did eat. Yeah, he did.
You didn't like them, so did you try them? Or you don't even remember this story at all? You look confused. Did this really happen, Kelly?
Yes, okay. I could have sworn he fed it to them because after I tried it the one time, I didn't see them anymore.
And you didn't like them, so you were ready to ditch them?
Yeah.
I think it was a while back, yes.
Okay. Does anybody else try anything different?
Now he remembers.
Unusual? Does anyone here eat blueberries, since we're talking about blueberries?
Yeah.
I
love blueberries. They're very good.
High in antioxidants.
Very good. My parents actually grow. They have a blueberry garden. They grow berries and stuff.
Wow.
So anyway, okay. Well, another part of your homework. Let's see if anybody did this. Is you were supposed to try to find ways to increase your physical activity. It doesn't mean you have to start running 10 miles a day. You could park further out. We talked about that. Taking the stairs. We talked about a few things like that. Did anybody? Tyra's shaking her head.
Yeah.
Okay. What did you do?
I do park farther away.
Okay.
Instead of walking on the treadmill, I run now.
Very good.
Yes.
Good job. And I know parking further away right now, because it's 1,000 degrees outside, sometimes it's like, no, I'm not going to park further away because I'm going to be covered in sweat when I get to the door. But, you know, when the weather cools off, we can do that. Anybody else?
I started getting up early, and like about 6:30, 6 o'clock, and I start walking around the block.
Awesome.
Walk around the block every morning.
Have you noticed a difference in the way you feel? Do you have more energy?
More energy.
Very good.
And I'm starting to walk, you know. Yeah.
Awesome. Anybody else? What about you, Amy?
No.
No.
I get enough exercise.
Okay.
With the job.
Okay. How about you guys?
I personally haven't.
Well, me and my oldest son, he came get me, but we did, like, you know, we worked out.
That's right.
And
you guys
normally,
play basketball and
yeah,
stuff too,
well,
right?
I haven't, like, really been, you know, hitting the weights, like, talking about for several months, but when I started again, you know, well, he lives less than me. So what I did was, whatever he was hitting, I just increased my reps. So it's more like a burnout for me. So, because normally I'm used to just doing like short reps, like short sets and short reps.
Right. Yeah, higher weight.
So like
and
5
lower
sets
reps.
of 5
Yeah.
or whatever. So I did like 3 sets of 30 or something, whatever.
Okay.
And so
Yeah,
it
so
burned,
change it up.
So it burned, you know, it burned
Right.
more like a burnout. So that was.
Okay,
I'm
that's
still,
good.
I'm still
Yeah.
kind of hurting from that right now.
Even if you don't see, then I guess you did good,
So,
as
yeah,
long as
yeah.
it's not the bad hurt.
Yeah.
The,
Yeah,
ooh,
yeah,
I
no,
need
no,
some.
no, no,
the,
no.
ooh, I need some ibuprofen right now.
No,
hurt.
not
Okay.
that kind, yeah.
All right. So, okay, since you guys did not all do your homework, I guess you're going to have to do it this next time. Okay, fruits, vegetables, something you've never had. And then you were supposed to make a recipe. So nobody made a recipe either, right?
No.
No recipes? All right, okay, so we're going to do that this time since you did it last time. I know it's been a long time, and you probably forgot, and I should have reminded you, and for that, I apologize. Okay, so what we're going to talk about today is, we'll move on. We'll talk about the fact that you didn't do your homework. and we're going to talk about, as Linda said, about fruits and vegetables. Okay, and she's given you some ways to put in some fruits and vegetables. The reason that we need fruits and vegetables, well, most are lower in calories, and most of you probably know that. They're lower in calories and higher in fiber. And I briefly mentioned fiber last time. Foods higher in fiber are better for your digestive system. They're better for keeping your blood sugar regulated, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a few minutes. But also, the studies have shown that people that eat higher amounts of fruits and vegetables have a lower risk of some kinds of cancers, colon cancer in particular, because of the fiber and the digestion problems. They have a lower risk of high blood pressure, heart disease, stroke, type 2 diabetes, which now most of you probably know and I know you work in the medical field, and you do too, and well, you do too, so all of you do, but you realize that a lot of people have type 2 diabetes, a lot, like alarming amounts of people have type 2 diabetes, and a lot of it I'm going to talk about, you know, why that's become such an epidemic in our country, and now there's even children, you know, like teenagers, kids, young people that have type 2 diabetes, which used to was pretty much reserved for people, you know, maybe 60s, 70s, even 80s as they got older, and their system just didn't function as well, and now, you know, we're seeing it in alarming rates. So what I have for you is some handouts, and I didn't poke holes in them so you could put them in your folder. Take one and pass it around, but you can just stick it in the, or on the side after we go over it, as soon as I find my copy. Oh, it's in here, right there. Okay, so if you look on this paper that I've given you, that I clearly have misplaced. Okay, So if you look on here on the side that has the picture of the men and the women, okay, there's something on the back as well. It says know the amounts you need each day. So this is a chart. I mean, obviously charts in people's ages and how active they are is kind of, you know, a general idea, but it's a good guideline for most people. And that way you can see how many fruits and vegetables you're getting in your diet and how many you need. And you can also look, for you guys that have kids, you can also look, it has girls and boys in terms of how much they should be getting. So if you look on here, all the women, there's the women's chart right here. We have down the left side, it says less active, moderately active, and active. You're going to have to determine that. Those of you that work out pretty regularly, walk, stuff like that, would probably be moderately active. If you really don't engage in any sort of exercising, even if you only do it like once a week or sporadically, I would say that would be less active. And then in the active category would be someone who has a pretty regular routine of, I would say, 3 to 5 days a week working out, you know, at least an hour or so a day, you know, on a regular basis. So you can just kind of guess. There's not that much difference in some of them anyway, in the amounts that you eat. So if you are a woman between the ages of 19 and 30, for example, okay, then you are supposed to have 2 cups of fruit a day and 2.5 cups of vegetables. Tyra, you fit in that category. Do you think that you have that much fruit and vegetables?
A day?
A day?
No.
No, yeah. And most people don't. I mean, realistically, it's something you have to make a conscious effort to do, because a lot of times, I know, and I'm pretty conscious of eating fruits and vegetables, but sometimes I'll go through the day and I'll have eaten here with someone else and here with somebody else, and then I make a dinner and I think to myself, I didn't have any vegetables all day today, or I didn't have, you know, I had a banana or something, you know, because you were eating other places and you were eating different kinds of foods. And so sometimes, you know, we don't really think about it. On the men, if you look at the chart below, so if we have moderately active man, 19 to 30, 2 cups of fruits, 3.5 cups of vegetables. So men, you're going to have to eat more veggies, okay? But you can just kind of look on here, and then there's the girls and the boys. So flip over to the back side, which mine is on a separate piece of paper. I need to be more organized, don't I? Shh, don't tell anyone. I know health and nutrition, but organization is not my strong point. There we go. Okay. So it says make it count. So if you're wondering, how do I know if I'm eating a cup of vegetables or a cup of fruit? Okay. So you want to know what serving sizes are. So examples of look in the morning side. It says 1 cup is a small apple. Small apple. There you go. It's not a big giant apple, but if you want to eat a big giant apple, that's okay, because then you just got more fruits in, right? Apples are very good for you. Proteins. So, who would like to tell me what they think of when they hear proteins?
Mass. I mean, protein. To my understanding, protein in your body can increase.
So you're thinking from like a bodybuilding perspective, it can help increase your muscle mass?
Like with potatoes, right?
Well, no, proteins. Potatoes are starches, which are carbohydrates. Okay. So what's an example of proteins? Anybody know?
Is liver one?
Yes. Meats.
Okay. Meats? Yeah.
Meat. Meat is protein. What else? I love meat too. What else is protein? Sources of protein that you can think of? I mean, the meats is a huge one. That's, I mean, you know, we could list them all separately: beef, chicken, pork, but, you know, meats. Everybody gets that. Seafood. Some are better sources of protein, and some are really good sources of protein. Like red meat is a very good source of protein, but it's also can be high in fat. So you kind of want to, you know, go with the leaner cuts of meat. What else is a good source of protein? Anybody know? Besides meat?
What about is beans?
Beans is not a high source, but it is a source of protein. You have to eat a lot of beans if you were a vegetarian to get enough protein. And then I don't know if a lot of people would want to be around you if you ate a lot of beans.
Peanut butter?
Peanut butter, yeah, because that kind of, that's in the nuts. So peanut butter, which is nuts. All nuts contain a decent amount of protein, but they also are high in fat too. So, but it's a good fat, provided it doesn't have any hydrogenated oils in it. We'll talk about that later. Anything else you can think of? There's one big category that has pretty good protein in it. Anybody think of it?
Vegetables.
What about fruit? No. Anybody? You drink it for breakfast or eat it on your cereal.
Milk.
Yeah, milk. Dairy
Yeah,
products.
I wanted to say that.
Dairy products are a good source. And what you can do with dairy products, because sometimes people, badmouth cheese, and I'm a big fan of cheese, and other dairy products. But I mean, you've got yogurt, you've got milk. Whole milk has a lot of extra fat that most of us don't need, but you can, do 2% milk. Or skim milk if you like skim milk. I personally like skim milk, but a lot of people don't. So 1%, 2% milk. You get the same amount of calcium, so you're not really losing anything but the fat is all you're losing. And cheeses, you can eat lower fat versions of cheeses, periodically. Yogurt is a good one. Ice cream, I'm sorry to say, although ice cream is wonderful, it's really not that great of a source of protein because it has a lot of sugar and it has a lot of, some other things into it. I mean, it's okay, but you can't go, look, I'm going to eat a gallon of ice cream every day because I need my protein. Okay, this is not going to work. Okay, then you're going to have the whole adipose tissue thing going on, right?
Now, how does protein work in the body?
I'm glad you asked that, Greg, because I was just about to get to that. Okay. All right. So proteins are very important in the body. They serve as the building blocks for all kinds of cellular functions without going into too much biology for you because I used to teach it and I don't want to get all crazy on you. And then you all start looking like my students and like, falling asleep on me and everything. But the exact role of proteins is that, like I said, growth, maintenance, and repair of all the cells in your body. So your cells, I don't know how much you know about cells, but cells are constantly dying off and then splitting and reproducing and making new cells. This is going on, trillions of cells in our body all the time. As we age, they stop reproducing as quickly, and in certain areas of our body, they don't as much. But all these things are going on all the time, and without protein, like I said, is the building blocks, and that means without these things, you can't build new cells. So you're going to have a breakdown in a lot of the functions in your cells. It may not be something you can see right away, but over time, if you've ever seen pictures of, like when they show the pictures of the children in Africa that are malnourished, a lot of them, and they're really skinny, and you can see their bones through their skin, and they get the big bloat in their stomach and things like that. They're eating rice and starches, because that's what usually people deliver them. And without protein, their organs start shutting down, and so they're unable to function. Now, most of us in our society, we don't usually have much of a hard time getting enough protein in, because we are a high meat society. We're like, I need a steak. We all think we have to have meat with everything. At least I know my husband does. Yeah. Hope he doesn't see this because I'm bad mouthing him on TV. But he knows it's true. He does. But anyway, it's a major part of all muscles. Like you said, protein builds mass. So if you are into bodybuilding, if you've ever known anyone who's into bodybuilding, they're having protein shakes and muscle mass shakes and all that kind of stuff. They're increasing, their amount of protein. It's also necessary for the production of antibodies, which fight off disease, which is part of your immune system. So if you don't eat the proper amount of proteins, then you're going to get sick more often. Okay. And then it also does things like helps your hair shiny, your nails, that kind of stuff, and your bones, keeps you strong. Okay. So all of the things I mentioned, proteins, fats, and carbohydrates, are all really important. It's just getting, the right amount. And like I said before, all this stuff is really just to help you think about when you're grocery shopping, when you're eating, when you're planning your meals. We're all going to make fast choices sometimes because that's the way life is. But it's just kind of a way to help you out and hopefully, give you some information you may not have had before, may not have thought about. That way, if you decide to eat an entire birthday cake, you at least know what's going to happen afterwards, okay? You can't go, I didn't know, I thought it was okay. All right? And also, too, in terms of dieting, people go on diets and all that kind of stuff, but really, if you're trying to lose weight, or you're trying to get healthier, or you're trying to gain weight, whatever you're trying to do, the best thing is not really to go on a diet. The best thing is to have a balanced diet of the kind of foods, that are good for you. some exercise, and you know, it's not always about being skinny and, you know, looking like a supermodel, but it's about being healthy, you know, and a lot of times we get caught up in that, I know, especially as women, more so than men do. But you know, it's just, and to be an example for your kids, and to, you know, take better care of yourself. So like Linda said, we can get to work on time and not get sick, you know, and you guys work around people that are sick all the time, you know. So the stronger your immune system is, the less likely you're going to get sick. Does anybody have any questions or comments about anything?
One thing about, for some reason, I always had a theory that potatoes would help you get, you know, bigger, and I always had that affiliated with proteins for some reason.
Did you? Well, potatoes are starches, and they do give you quick energy. Mm-hmm. Carbohydrates give you immediate energy. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people, I know when I was around the whole bodybuilding world many years ago, a lot of the guys that were really into building mass would eat a lot. You know, they would eat the potatoes, but they also ate a lot of protein. They ate egg whites. Crazy. Yeah. Eggs is a good, I didn't put that on there, did I? Yeah. Eggs is an excellent source of protein. I'm glad you brought that up. But yeah, so I mean, they're not bad for you, but they're not going to build muscle mass. They're going to build weight and energy. So anybody else? Comments? So what's everybody going to do between this time and next time I see you? And I will send a reminder next time, because it's probably going to be, I think it's December before I see you again. I think. Well, yeah, I'll see you, but I mean before I have this class again.
We have to copy a recipe and try a new fruit or vegetable and exercise more.
That's right. Okay. You're going to make a recipe. Now, I gave you some recipes.
We have to make a recipe, or we can copy a recipe.
No, you got to make it. Come on. I gave you some recipes last time in your folder. You did. I did. I gave you some. If you find another recipe that you would rather make that has like a fruit or a vegetable that you've never had before, or something you don't eat very often, that's fine. It doesn't have to be. I just gave you those kind of to help you out. The, I think it's the cauliflower macaroni and cheese one that I gave you is really good. So, just anyway. All right, that's all I got. Thank you guys. You were awesome. I'll see you next time.
So, like, if they go home tomorrow and make smoothies and make a whole new recipe, then that counts.
That does. Yeah.
And you have all the stuff to do it.
That's right.
So
and then I want you to
knock your homework out in the first day.
That's right. And then make a, you know, just write down a few little notes about what you thought of it. But the one you ate tonight doesn't count. So you can't do that one. You got to make your own. Okay?
Yeah, so look around what you got in your own house.
Yeah, tell me what you thought of it. Would you make it again? Be honest. Okay?
Yeah. And if you don't have frozen fruit, you can just throw ice in it. And that'll work too. But we are giving you some frozen fruit you can take home tonight. You know what? When I talked about being a junk food junkie, what I didn't talk about is that me being a junk food junkie and raising my kids to be junk food junkies. When my kids got in their 20s, they had things like kidney stones, thyroid problems, ADHD issues throughout their lives. So guys, it's not just that you want to eat healthy for your own health. You want to eat healthy. It's not just that you want to eat healthy for your own health and for your own energy. You want to eat healthy for the sake of your children, because you want to build their little bodies up so they can be strong adults as well. And you know, we talked about the problem with fresh fruits and vegetables. Sometimes they go bad on you. Well, you know what I do is I cut them up and I throw them in the freezer. My kids are all gone now, and so it's hard to go through a whole watermelon, you know. So by the time we get through half a watermelon, it gets to where it's not so great anymore. I'll take that thing and I'll just cut it up into little chunks like that and throw it in the freezer, and then I have my frozen fruit to throw in my smoothies. You can even do that with banana. You can do that with all kind of things. So just don't waste it. Throw it in your freezer, and it'll work. Throw it in a smoothie, you'll never know. It won't matter. It'll still taste good. All right. Karen, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
We look forward to seeing you next time. This has been Escape from Poverty Life Skills class in nutrition. Thank you for joining us. This class is available in its entirety along with printed curriculum through our website. Contact us at escapefrompoverty.org or at 337-984-4858.